Welcome everyone for today's session. I'm Alkananda Misra and I'll take you through the session that focuses on one of the most important steps in your study abroad journey, cracking the visa interview. Many students get admission but flatter at the final hurdle. Through this session, we will learn what officers look for, how to prepare, what mistakes to avoid, and you will also learn and hear some student success stories. Now, why the visa interview matters. That's what we're going to understand in the next slide. Uh, the visa interview is just not a formality. It's a gateway to your academic dream abroad. What officers evaluate: are you a genuine student? Do you have sufficient finances? And the most important, will you return after studies? Let me give you an example. A student once had great scores and documents, but kept saying, I want to work in US for a long term. This raised a red flag and the visa was denied. So your intent is what it matters at as much as your documentation. So you have to make sure that what you are speaking, what your intentions are correct as much as your documents, that also needs to be perfect. What is the interview process? So we'll understand what's the process and who takes it. Your interview will be conducted by the visa consul officer at the embassy. The process is short as 3 to 10 minutes often, and the decision is made between the first few questions only. So you may think it's very, very unfair, but that's how the system works. Officers are trained to read your confidence, honesty, and your body language. So no matter how good your file is, how you present yourself, that is very, very critical. So the next slide that we have is very, very important. So you have to make sure that you listen to all these sample questions that I have for you. We will go one by one with the sample questions and we'll understand what the officer was trying to assess and how you can answer them. So we move to the first question is, why do you want to study in any country that's a preferred country that you're looking for? What is the officer trying to assess here? To assess your motivation and your awareness. So, and how will you answer this? I might just frame up a answer and tell you, like, I want to study in Canada because of its world-class education system, multicultural environment, an emphasis more on research-based learning. The course I chose is also not available with the same quality and exposure in my country. So that's how you're going to answer. Make sure that what you need to avoid saying is because I have a friend there or I like the country. Instead, talk about education quality, job-oriented curriculum, and global exposure. So you have to make sure that your answers are also, you're prepared for this. You should be aware of what course you are going for, which university you are going to. So that needs a lot of research. So these kind of answers that you can frame. What is the next question that consular may ask you, or it may be a credibility interview where you can be asked? Why this university and course? So if you see, most of the questions are related to each other. It may be formulated in a different way and asked to you. So what does the officer assess over here? To check if your decisions are well informed or it's random, and how will you answer them? I chose XYZ University because it is ranked among the top 5 in the country for its data science or AI or cybersecurity, whatever your course is, you can just mention that. The course structure offers real-time projects and faculty includes industry experts and it perfectly matches my career goals in AI, data science, analytics. So you have to answer this way. So make sure that you highlight 1-2 points of the course or the university, like ranking, labs, internship, partnership, or unique modules that they offer. The next question that we move to is, who is financing your education? What is the officer trying to assess here? To confirm that you have reliable financial backing, because that's the most important thing when you are going abroad. You have to show money. So you have to make sure that you have a good financial backing if you are going to study abroad. So how will you answer? You might say that my parents are financing my education. We have a saving of whatever, maybe some lakhs or some dollars that you need to say. And I also have education loan of INR 15 lakhs approved by HDFC Bank or ICICI Bank or the non-financial banks which offer loans at a very low cost. So you need to say that. Be specific of about the source, parent loan, parents, loans, scholarships, and amount. Officers want to see clarity and transparency in your answer. So we move down to the next question, that is, what does your sponsor do? Again, this is related with the financial background. So you need to be very specific. And what is the purpose, and what is the officer assessing here? To ensure how your sponsor, if your sponsor has a stable income to support your education. So you may answer that my father is a chartered accountant, over 15 years of practice. He files ITR for over 12 lakhs or 30 lakhs annually, which supports my education comfortably. So give sponsors profession, income, job stability. Don't just say business vaguely. Explain what kind of business and turnover your sponsor has. That could be your father or any other sponsor, your uncle or a guardian or anybody else. We move to the next fifth question, that is, what is your plan after graduation? Now, what is the officer trying to assess here? To assess if you are planning to return home, like your long-term plans. So be very careful while answering this question. Be alert. After completing my master's, I plan to return to India or whichever country you may be from and join growing analytic firms or contribute to my our family's logistic business using the skill that I have gained from the university. Always talk about returning, even if post-study work is allowed. Avoid saying I want to settle permanently. So always make sure that you tell your intent speaks that you want to return back. Why not study in India? So what's the officer trying to assess? The purpose of this question is to test your thoughtfulness about the decision that is your decision. So how will you answer? While India offers good education, the specialization that I want in AI and machine learning is better structured abroad and more practical exposure, global faculty to access to cutting edge research tool. So talk about the global exposure, talk about the research opportunities and all these that is that you can gain abroad, but do not try to degrade your country. Speak positively. Focus on quality, exposure, global perspective, not that Indian education is bad. Indian education isn't bad. And but there are certain things that you get abroad. So you need to focus on the particular course and your university that you're going and what it's offering. So the next question that comes in, do you plan to work abroad? Now to check your long-term intent again. And how will you answer? I may take part in the optional post-study work experience allowed by my visa, but my long-term goal is to return to India, grow in my home country, in the emerging tech industry. Acknowledge legal options, but always reinforce temporary stay. Do not, even if you're getting a post-study work visa, that's also temporary. So talk about your temporary stay rather not your permanent. Like after post-study also, I want to stay here and all that. Try to keep your answers in your limits. Do you have relatives there to assess to see if you might overstay or misuse the visa? So how will you answer? You must say that, yes, I have a cousin, or if you don't have, then say you don't. And I will be living, but I will be living in the university accommodation and manage my own studies independently. So if you have relatives, do not hide it. Just be clear. And if you're going for education, not for family migration. So make sure that you have clarity in your answer. What will you do if your visa is denied? So to test your mindset and if you have a black backup plan. So if my visa is denied, I will review the reason, improve my application and reapply. Education abroad is important to me and I am committed to achieving it responsibly. So you have to have a positive answer. Your backup plan should be ready. Show maturity and determination and not frustration in your answer. So in case it's denied for a particular reason, I will rework on it. I'll try to get the right documents. I will reapply because I have the aim of studying abroad and I would like to take that decision responsibly. So what would be the next question that a visa officer might ask? These are just sample questions, so that gives you a good practice. Have you been abroad before? Now to check your travel history and your exposure. Are you having the exposure of that country? Do you know its culture? Do you know its background? How will you adjust that? So if you have traveled, then say, show your travel history in short details, not too much of details. But if you're not, then you can say, no, this is the first time, first international experience, and I'm excited to represent my country abroad and grow academically. So you have to be very positive in your answer. Essential now, these questions are very, very important. So you need to practice your responses in with your mentor and keep your answers short and meaningful. Now, the most important slide that's going to come next is what are the essential documents that you should carry and how you should keep them. Always keep your documents neatly organized in an organized folder. Do not fumble around when asked for. Carry your original copies of transcript, financial docs, and ID. If you are using education loan, have the sanction letter with terms ready. And for countries like Germany, ensure that you have a blocked account and the letter is printed and clear. Officers may ask, may not ask. So you should be ready with all the documents with the folder well organized. I will also include some key preparation tips in my next slide. That is also very, very important. But we will divide this phase into two parts. Before the interview, research about the university well. Know your course modules, dress in formals, practice mock interviews, and even record yourself, which is very, very. The second phase is during the interview, when you are there in the interview in front of the officer. Speak clearly with confidence. Don't interrupt the officer. Only show documents if requested. A student once answered all the questions of the officer, but kept offering different documents unnecessarily. That seemed like nervous and he's being defensive about something that is hiding. So trust your preparation when you are there out there. To trust your preparation that you have prepared well and nothing is going to happen. So this is very, very important. Just keep in your mind. What are the common mistakes that we should avoid? Some mistakes may lead to instant rejection. So don't say, I want to settle abroad. That goes against the non-immigrant visa intention. Avoid memorizing or vague answers. Officers see through them. Make sure your SOP, that's a statement of purpose, and interview answers match. Inconsistency will definitely hurt you. If you have prepared your own SOP, then you will definitely know what you have put in there. So if you have researched about the university, if you have researched about the course, you must have put that in an essay. So that is very, very important. So SOP is a very important piece of document that you should write it yourself. And that document will help you during your interview to tell the officer about the course, what you have, and why you want that course, and why this country, and why that university. So a student, so mismatch of answers and inconsistency will hurt you very badly. Like a student said her uncle would sponsor her, but the ITR return showed the father's name, and this contradiction caused suspicion and rejection. For this small blunder could cause a bigger problem. So, and what visa officers look for? What do they look for? They look for genuine students with academic clarity, strong ties to your home, like your intent. Show that through family, business, job prospects, and personal responsibilities. That is what you have to show, that you want to come back, utilize your education in uplifting your country, the people man, and also create job, and you want to also contribute to your family business. Financial stability, show liquid funds or loan approval clearly. Communication, if you can't explain your plan in 2 minutes, that means you are not ready. A good strategy is to frame your answer in past, present, and future format. So you have to be prepared if you are going for an interview. Now, the next slide, I have some country-specific insights, which I will cover through. That is like in USA, interview is always in person. So say you will return after studies, not work there, talk about long-term plans in India. In UK, some students face credibility interview. As I told you earlier, know your course, be clear, and about the funding. So your SOP is very important here. In Canada, again, interviews are rare, but SOP is key. So it must explain your future plans, reasons for Canada, and funding. Australia, emphasis on genuine temporary entrance statements. So make sure that you have that. Germany, mandatory interview, knowledge of German education system and basic German language helps. So customize your preparation based on country. So every country has a different way of taking interview, but majority it will be the same. But which country focuses on which particular thing, work on that and prepare yourself better. Now, I will take you through some success stories. These names are fictional. So I might say these are real students, but I have not disclosed the names. So these are fictional names. So Anjali, who was from USA, rejected once due to unclear funding. Next time, she brought a proper loan letter and practiced interview that got approved. Rahul, again from Canada, SOP was very, very generic. He didn't write it well. He didn't put in too much of information. He rewrote it with real experience, future goals in India, and visa granted in 3 weeks. Megha from UK related her MBA to expand her family business. It showed strong ties, so she got her visa easily. Farhan from Germany, he had gaps in academics, but explained them honestly. Took basic German, shared future plans, and the visa got approved. So the takeaway over here is preparation plus authenticity leads to success. Now, what is your final checklist that you should have? That is a very, very important thing you should remember. Before you walk into the interview room, ask yourself, do I understand my course? Why I chose it? Can I explain my financial plan clearly? Have I practiced enough to speak without fear? Do I look confident and professional? These checklists has to be there in your mind. These checklists ensure that you are not just ready on papers, but you are mentally and emotionally ready for the interview. So it's just not that you understand that they're going to ask you, but mentally that, yes, this could be my answer. I should be prepared. I should do my mock interviews, role plays, so to answer them. So that brings the end of my session. I hope the session gave you clarity and confidence about visa interview. And remember, stay honest, prepare well, be calm and confident. If you like personalized help with SOP or mock interviews, do not hesitate to reach to our team. And thank you so much, everyone. I hope this session it was informative and helpful.